Intelligence is often seen as a solution, but it actually changes the shape of your struggles. Many highly intelligent people feel tired and disconnected even when life looks fine. Your mind is built for continuous processing and rarely slows down. It automatically analyzes information even when it doesn't need to. After conversations end, your mind replays them on a loop. Even during rest, your thoughts keep moving at high speed. This isn't default anxiety, it is cognitive depth. Over time, this constant activity creates mental exhaustion. You process information so quickly that you get bored faster than others. Predictable routines feel mentally painful to you. When things are too easy, your brain stops releasing dopamine. This boredom is often misunderstood as a lack of discipline. You feel isolated even in social settings because you think differently. Small talk feels meaningless and drains your energy. You want conversations that provide mental resonance. Loneliness appears when you can't find that stimulation. You naturally question rules and authority figures. You don't follow traditions just because they exist. You need to understand the logic behind every system. This independence often creates conflict in rigid environments. Let's talk about your school years. You weren't exactly the teacher's pet. You weren't a rebel because you were bad, but because the teacher's logic had more holes than Swiss cheese. To your brain, "because I said so" is basically an invitation to an argument. You don't just see a rule, you see a suggestion that hasn't been debunked yet. Socially, let's be honest, you're a bit like a cat. You like people, but only on your terms, and from a very safe distance. Small talk is your personal version of hell. While others discuss their weekend, you're wondering if the universe is just a giant computer simulation. You've perfected the "I'm listening" nod, while your brain is actually at a library. Inside, you're writing a 40-page thesis on why that person's logic is fundamentally flawed. Explaining your ideas feels like a workout you never signed up for. You start with "actually" and watch people's eyes glaze over, like donuts. So you've learned to stay quiet, becoming a silent Wikipedia. Not because you're shy, but because you're tired of being the free help desk for common sense. Emotionally, you act more like a lab scientist than a human. You analyze pain instead of just feeling it. You use logic as a mental shield. This protects you, but creates distance. Your mind is a constant internal judge. You don't compare yourself to others. You compare yourself to your own potential. This creates a pressure few can understand. You rarely pause to enjoy a win. The moment you finish, you look for more. You're wired for growth, not simple happiness. Advice from others often feels like an intrusion. Your brain needs evidence, not just comfort. You rely on internal reasoning over guidance. Traditional life paths often feel like a cage. Conventional milestones don't satisfy your depth. You want meaning, not a pre-written script. This creates a quiet conflict inside. You want freedom, but live in systems. You're not lost. You're just navigating alone. Your struggles are not flaws or errors. They are the inevitable cost of depth. Intelligence intensifies every single emotion. You are not too much for this world. You just have a different operating system. Understanding your mind is your greatest power.